Hello, everybody. I hope I'm audible. Can I have a few emojis that can run out? Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Hello, everybody. My name is Varsha Murlidharan, and on behalf of the I Make Rise student chapter, it is my pleasure to welcome you to day 3 of SAAT, the Strategic Alumni and Achievers Think Tank. So, if you haven't attended the past sessions before, there's no issues. Today, if you're joining for the first time, let me get you up to date. SAAT is more than just an acronym. Yes, it means together in Hindi, but SAAT shows that we have had 7 batches of strategic finance, and from the past 7 years, we've taken alumni and achievers from each batch, and we have accumulated all of that into one special event we call today. So, before we begin today's event, I would like to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude to the Department of Commerce, without whose unwavering support and encouragement we could not have completed. We could not finish the student led initiative. We also extend our heartfelt gratitude to the IMA Bangalore chapter for their consistent mentorship and guidance, and to our faculty coordinator, Dr. Sunil MP. So let's begin day 3 of SAT. So, a question that hits home to a lot of us is what sets top performers at Christ, both on and off the field? So, we always hear conversations running around consistency, about balance, but what does it really look like? So, today we have Vishwatan here, who is a direct junior of mine. So, he is currently from the 24 batch of strategic finance, and he is an international swimmer and a Khelo India medalist. Vishwatan, if you'd like to start, could you give us a quick introduction and get us up all to speed about what you do, why you love swimming, and your accolades?
So, hi, I'm Vishwatan. I'm currently doing my BCom Strategic Finance in Christ, and I'm based in Bangalore. So, let me walk you through my swimming and my career. So, I started swimming when I was 4, and I got into swimming when I was 8. And I got my first national medal when I was 11. But I personally hated swimming, and I used to like bunk a lot, run away from the water pool. But then my dad wanted me to swim. Uh, I personally started loving the sport at the age of 15, uh, where I got my, where I dominated state and nationals, got 3 gold medals, both in states and nationals, and my picture came on newspaper. That's when my approach towards swimming started changing, and I started loving the sport. So swimming basically is my second home. So I spend around 8 hours daily in the pool, and I still spend 8 hours, and I still swim every day. Uh, like whenever I step into the pool, it's everything fades off. There's no noise. It's just me and the pool, the water. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing us with that. So, to everybody in the audience here, I will run you through some of his stats and some of his accolades because they speak for themselves. So, at the 49th Junior National Aquatic Championship, he took home 2 golds and 1 silver. At the 67th National School Games, he clinched 2 golds and 1 bronze. At the Khelo India Youth Games 24, he won 2 silvers. He has represented India at the BIMSTEC Aquatics Championship 2024, and he's competed at the World School Games in 2022. So just like we did the session yesterday, and I will get you up to date if you haven't attended yesterday's session. So we will be opening the floor to questions. So if you do have a question, you can just raise your hand and I will call out your name. If you aren't comfortable with that option, you can also put your question in the chat box. So these are some of the questions that came to us during the registrations. So I will be starting with those questions. But along the way, if I see a hand raised up here and there, I will call out your name if that works. So first off, how did it feel to represent India at an international level? Let's say in BIMSTEC and in World School Games, how did it feel?
So my first international was when I was 16. Uh, that was World School Games in Serbia. I was excited. I was proud to represent India, and I mean, just wearing the jersey of India is a different feeling. It was a good experience, new people, new food, get to adapt to new weather. So I took part in 5 events in the World School Games Serbia, where I made it to the finals in all of them, but unfortunately not the podium. I finished like fourth, fifth in most of the events. It was a good experience overall.
Honestly, doing that at 16 sounds completely out of the box. I mean, a lot of us, I mean, we were here studying for our board exams and you were out there in Serbia. So, I mean, that's extremely impressive. Second, how is it like managing both sports and academics? Because, Christ does have very hectic CIA schedule, and then we have a mid sems and we have our end sems. How do you manage all of it? And, what is one advice you would give to somebody who is at your level or just at a level below as well?
So I'll just run you through my schedule, how my week is. So I wake up at 4:30 and my session is 5:30 in the morning. It gets over at 8:30 and I'm back home at 9. And again back to college at 9:45, which gets over at 3:45. So I'm home by 4:30 and I have to run back to practice again because my session starts at 5 and gets over at 8:30 and I have no room to like study or do my assignments. I'm very tired. So I majorly like try concentrating during the class hours. Try not to sleep and concentrate there. Uh, Finish my like homeworks or assignments on a day-to-day basis, and I majorly study during the offs, which is Sunday, the only day I get off. That's how I strategize and plan my academics and sport, and I think you should be doing the same.
Yeah, I think it's really, I think the second I started, paying attention every class, I started, answering, like asking questions, being more interactive with professors. I mean, it really did change the game in terms of, even just my GPA, even learning in class became so much more fun. So, yeah, it's an extremely true point. So I think when we think about athletes, we think about people that win. But I personally did track and field for I think 7 years of my life before this. So failure is a big part. Failure is a big chunk of being an athlete. And it teaches you so much. So could you share one point in your life or your entire experience where there was one particular setback that taught you a lot and that pushed you to grow and drive and be more hungrier than ever?
So yeah, so I personally have failed many times. Failing has to be a part of your journey because that is when you learn and try to get better at something. So let me give you an example of my own case. So uh, 2022 was my major fallback. So there are groups in swimming. It's called group 1, 2, 3, 4. I was in group 1, that is under 18. Uh, so under 18 consists of 3 years. So I had to participate with guys who are 2 years older to me, and I won there. So the next year, obviously, I had to like compete and win, like due to my 10th boards and other, relationships and other distracting things which happened, and I didn't even get into the finals. I was very disappointed, and I had people talking behind my back that I had to quit, stop swimming, and all that. But then I had to change my pool, start with a new coach, started a new plan, strategized diet plan, new diet plan, gym. That's and then 2023 I got back stronger. Uh, so I got 3 goals in states and 3 goals in nationals. Yeah.
Honestly, failing teaches you so much. And as students and at people that are in our age, like age group, whether that's 18, 19, 20, all of us need to fail. And a lot of us should be okay with failing. And I think that's what sports does so beautifully, which is, kind of pushes those experiences onto you when you're younger. So let's say somebody who was into sports or into a certain event or a hobby or something very competitively when they were in school, and then they came to college and they had other priorities. What advice would you give them to get back into the sport?
So talking about break, I have personally not taken a break. Maybe I've taken a break for my exams, like a week or two, because my sport is like that. I need to be regular. So if I miss a session, it takes me like 4 sessions. That is two days to come back to form. So talking about someone returning back from injury, I would suggest them to be like you got to be patient and prioritize your physical health and have a realistic goal. Create a proper training schedule and mainly focus on recovery and surround yourself with support and be positive. Have people who want you to achieve and win in life. Yeah.
Has there been anybody that has kind of like has gotten an injury that you know of personally, or have you had an injury? How have you dealt with it, or how have you seen anybody else deal with it?
Yeah, I have personally not had an injury yet, but my friend who's in Christ too, his name is Anish, is now currently one of the fastest Indian swimmer, and I look up to him. He had a shoulder injury. He had a break for 1 month. He got back. He got back stronger. Now, he's representing India. Now he's going for Germany for his meet for World University Games, and I look up to him.
Yeah, that's quite impressive. So yeah, I mean, failure and kind of yeah. So there's a question from the chat. So can you tell us why choose to pursue a degree when most athletes are focused on the sport itself?
So I basically believe I don't believe in 50-50. Either master in one. So I am good at swimming. So degree might give me a like no hand in future like a job or something. So being an average in both, I don't think would help you. Either be a master in one uh, and basically have a hand in another might help you in your future.
Okay, that honestly, the 50-50 thing makes so much sense. It's jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
But master of some, but yeah. So, what has swimming taught you about life? Like, let's say, we learn these principles about consistency, about hard work, about smart work. How do you apply those principles, and what major principles did you learn from swimming? Swimming.
Yeah. So discipline is one thing. Time management. Have a goal. Have a dream. Work towards it, and prioritize your goals first, and then think about the other. Consistency is one thing. Show up when you don't want to. Also, when you when you're uh, when you have cramps or when you don't want to get up, you're sleepy. Show up on those days also. That is when it sets you apart from others. Uh, when you have 80, give 80%. When you have 20, give 20. Or when you have 100, give 100. Yeah.
I think all like there's this quote I think that you're referring to where we talk about consistent effort will always beat extraordinary effort in sporadic instances. So I think that's something we could all learn. So the next question from the chat: if you could speak directly to young athletes looking up to you, what would you advise them in terms of self doubt and second guessing their abilities?
Yeah. So I would say have a short term and a long term goal, which has to be realistic and accomplishable. Uh, I personally believe in hard work and smart work, which has to go hand in hand and not talent, which might help you like 10% or which might give you a head start or maybe hard work is what helps you more, which stays your part and stay humble and stay hungry. Yeah.
Okay, so I have the next question. What
Yeah.
is your next big goal in terms of swimming, in terms of academics?
So I would say CMA, which is my next academic goal, crack. Like I'm gonna try my best, maybe to clear my part one. Swimming, I have my Kalo India University Games in November, which is in Jaipur. This is my short-term goal, and maybe qualify to Asian Games the next year. Yeah.
So, Asian Games, when is it next year?
The dates are yet to be decided, but yeah.
So, how does your day look like right now? Because you're managing academics, but you're also working towards a big event.
Uh, the same day, like I get up at 5:30, no, 4:30, and then my swimming is at 5:30. Come back 8, get ready, college, go back home at 3:45. 5 o'clock is my session. I come back home at 8:30. Yeah,
So, you said you're planning on writing CMA as well.
yeah.
So, how are you planning to fit that into your schedule?
So I've started actually studying. So I've been studying for 1 hour daily, uh, with with my teacher faculty. So Ben sir, who's been helping me with my academics and CMA. Even Sunil sir, both of them are helping me in my academics. Yeah,
So yeah, 1 hour a day really does make a difference. As somebody who gave my part one a while back,
yeah,
like that 1 2 hours that you consistently put in is super important in the long run. So how I have another question:
yeah.
how viable is a sport like this? Because it is expensive and it is a lot of time and it is a lot of effort. So let's say somebody wants to get in this field. What advice would you give them?
I would say swimming is a very technical sport where you need experience in both competition wise and normally swimming. uh, I would suggest you to, do what you're more comfortable in and not try new sport, and continue to do what you're good at. You can actually learn swimming because it's a sport, or you can say a surviving sport which you need to learn, life-saving survival skill which you need to learn. Yeah.
So, could you give us an estimate in terms of money? How much would it cost to kind of compete at the level you're competing at?
So I pay around 18K for 6 months for our competitive level, and including our racing suits, racing cap, that's going to cost you like a lakh or more. Basically, a very pricey sport.
Okay, so I think the next question is from the chat. What is your driving factor to keep going and not give up on either academics or sports with such a packed and hectic schedule? Have your parents played a crucial role in encouraging the sport?
Yeah, my father wanted me to swim. He's still been encouraging me to swim and not quit. There was one point where I wanted to quit and take a break, where he didn't let me do that. He wanted me to continue swimming. Uh, and I don't have another option to, like, my dad wants me to swim, 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 and education is one thing which is gonna last you forever, which is gonna be your backbone for everything, and yeah, it's important.
So, I mean, the support system that we have as a whole plays such a big part in terms of if you're doing something as strenuous as sports. So, you talked about your father. So, was your father a swimmer? Is he the one that got you into the sport?
No, no, no. My none of our parents or my family were into sports. I'm the only one. I joined swimming because of my sister. She started swimming, but then she quit and then she started dancing. Then I sort of improved in swimming, so I had to continue. Yeah.
So, another question that we have from our side is that let's say you still want to be in this field. How is it a viable option to become a coach or to become an instructor or start an academy of your own? What does that look like specifically in India also?
Yeah, but if you look at swimming or swimming coach, it's two different ways. So a swimmer cannot coach. You need to get into a coaching line. You have different exams for that, clear that, and then you can coach. I'm actually coaching for one session now. Learn coaching, and maybe future I might get into the line. Yeah.
So, how does that coaching look like for you right now? So, you're kind of switched positions. You were the swimmer, now you're the coach. How does that look like?
I mean, I've not totally switched to coaching. I still swim. I just want to learn how to coach and then see how, you know, how the coaching part works. Because you're swimming and you don't know what's happening above the deck, what your coaches are going through, and that is one thing which I want to learn.
Okay, so do you, like on the top of your mind, do you remember the exams that you have to take, or if somebody wants to become an instructor or a coach, do
Yeah.
you know the specific exams and like how much prep, and because it's a career you're looking into, right?
So you need to have certain basic certificates, to write those exam. You need to have a degree first. So there's a certificate called lifeguard certificate which you need to do, and there's a certificate from SAI, which is Sports Authority of India. It's a 1 year course which you need to do, and there's another course called this thing, American Institute of Swimming Coaches, which you, if you do that, that's a plus point, where you can expect a good position in your academy or coaching. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vishwatan, for such a powerful session. And honestly, it's been inspiring for so many of us that were athletes and now kind of switched out, but also competitive athletes. You've shown us that being great doesn't mean giving up on everything else. And at Christ, that is so important. And discipline isn't just a buzzword, it's a way of your life. So thank you so much for attending today's session and
Thank you.
joining us as a speaker. You know, you are a direct junior to us, and it's such a proud moment for all of us for you to come on here and share your experience and share your valuable insight. So before we close, I'd like to sincerely thank the people once again who made SAAT possible. First, I'd like to thank the Department of Commerce for their continued support. Then I'd like to thank the IMA Bangalore chapter for their guidance and mentorship. SAAT is more than just a speaker series. It is a session, it is a platform where alumni, achievers, and students come together. Thank you for everyone who has joined us today. Thank you for joining. We will see you tomorrow for day 4 at SAT. Tomorrow is not just about having a polished resume, it's about telling the right story to your interviewer. It's about sitting in a room full of interviewers and making them listen. So, for that, we have Anshika Chaudhary from 5BCom SFH, who will be sharing her insight as the Deloitte M&A intern, and she will be sharing her insights that helped her get to that interview and excel in that interview. We'll be Thank you so much for everyone that's joined today. We will be rolling out a feedback form right now. So if it would be amazing if you guys could fill that out so we can get more valuable insight for tomorrow's session. Thank you so much. So we will be ending the session. Again, another thank you to everybody who's joined us.